Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the north side as the Blue Moon Von Bolt. We got Rebemaa. Spawn on the south side as the Orange Star Max. We got Banjoey. Let's see, this map is a hybrid map. We got decent amount of water here, so ports could be utilized. I could see Max's direct fire submarines could be pretty nice here. Of course, his battleship one less range. Von Bolt has a passive 10% attack and defense, so everything is good, nothing is bad. Of course, his power is bad because it does not exist. Let's see, this is a lab map. Both players start with a lab. There's also another lab right next door for the money, just like Mr. Krabs, with another Mr. Crab next to each other. There's also comm towers in the corners, so 4 comm towers. This one, of course, will require a transport of some sort. Airport at the back line as well. So there's your transport. 4 ports in the map as well. Good number of bases. Well, we've got 2 neutral bases, which this player will go down south to capture. This player's going to go north to capture. So delayed start with 2 bases. So this player could try rushing it, or just go for balanced capture because a lot of properties around that base as well. So this is supposed to be the strong side, but the strong side takes a moment or 2 to get up and going. The weak side has a lot of properties to capture, but could have possibly been aggressive. A good amount of plains, forests, and mountains here. It's a lot of indirect fire locations for all these mountains. Perfect little inlet there for a rocket as well. But yeah, this interesting map. Let's go ahead and see how well it plays. Max, of course, does have increased movement with his power and superpower, +1 and +2 movement speed. Of course, his indirects do less firepower, have less range, so they have to be deployed very limitedly. Von Bolt, of course, has a passive attack, 10% attack and defense, and of course now Max will have 2 tanks. Von Bolt does, of course, have a 2 range to a wheel, so a missile silo. Little bit large missile silo worth of stunning damage he can do for his superpower, but be difficult to see. Von Bolt's biggest benefit is his day-to-day. His superpower is just more of a nice thing to have, but he's more of a day-to-day CO in my opinion. But that superpower can still creep on in. He has teched up extremely early with a medium tank up north, so he's going to be hyper aggressive down here. Max is going to be aggressive with 2 tanks. He is going to try to help lock down this region, maybe interrupt the captures. We do already have a tank and artillery piece here, so we do see some aggression from both sides. Max day to day is what, 10% power increase? 20%. So it roughly makes him equal to Von Bolt with his plus 10% attack and defense. Of course, defense is weighted a little bit higher, so Von Bolt in a 1 head-to-head matchup would probably do a little bit better, but plus 20% offense does allow to punch through units better and better for wall breaking. So a little bit just comparable, let's just simply put it that, barring the indirect issue. Max now has floated out a battle copter, very nice, as well as a tank up here. Von Bolt could get the first strike here, though that may not go all too well. Get decent damage there, but base receive the same amount of damage in return. No comm towers to capture up to help weight it in his favor. But now got some battle cops heading down south. Looks like he's just going to fall back a little bit, play defensive. I think an artillery piece would be bad there. Even a rocket could be one way to help stall up this region. If he focuses battlecopters down here on the strong side to make it even stronger, that could be a possibility. But he will need to focus on a bit of defense here. So an early rocket could be useful to solidify defense. An early artillery piece is definitely a much better budget option than going for a full rocket down there. It also goes for a pair of tanks down south. Max has less income at the moment, only by a small amount. He is threatening multiple points though. Max has his medium tank in a position where he can project towards north or south. Anti-air, another tank, and battlecopters. There's a lot of properties in the map, so a lot of possible income. Battlecopter gets a strike in the infantry. He will finish her off there. Tank on the property. There's no Kindle, but he will do. Transport copter, medium tank, artillery piece, infantry. My apologies. A little bit choked up at the moment. But we do now transport copter. Infantry can hop in there. Polygon eye of the comm tower. That infantry unit, of course, took a bit of a beating. We do have an anti-air for Max in the left flank. Von Bolt does have a good number of units. I just thought of something. My apologies. Please give me a moment. And for Company Heroes, I have a rebound here, so the left and right key are rebound to ASDF. But now, if I do it like this, I can also push forward turn and not use the arrow keys and have my cursor around here. That's such a stupid idea of me. It's actually going to be very useful, so that way I can hit next turn and have the cursor pointing stuff in the meantime. Bombbolt's making some good progress here. The medium tank here could get a strike here. There's a clear path unless the battlecopter goes here. So you will likely lose a battlecopter to the anti-air hitting it and the medium tank hits there. So this medium tank is just going to be exposed. But it's on course of property, so it'll be difficult for even Max to break it. Only Lash is good at breaking other people's toys. Just ask Olaf about that. Takes us some infantry units, battlecopter and battlecopter violence. Max Force gives him +1 movement speed as well as plus 30% firepower in total. He does have the comm tower as well, so he's at sitting +40. Doesn't take out the battlecopter. Does take out the battlecopter. Does take out the artillery piece. Good strike on the medium tank, softening up. So is medium tank. Good strike there. It's basically knocked out. Now it's fully knocked out. Tank occupying the city. Max so far is in great position. Can Von Bulk and Ex Machina, what, 35,000 more worth of damage? Of course, when you attack, you have to get like double that amount, right? Probably not a possibility for Von Bulk to get his superpower. Though I'm always willing to be proven wrong. Neo Tank, that's not bad. Max does also have 38,000 versus 32,000, so Von Bolt has to be the aggressive one. Von Bolt is being aggressive down south. It's only really infantry here from Max, and artillery pieces can help zone up this region. But of course, if he pushes farther down south, he can easily get flanked and get smashed and encircled. Oh, we'll see, he did do a base skip there. I wasn't paying close attention to how much money he had. So battlecopter Neo Tank infantry. Now Max will be claiming that comm tower. Bombbolt will get his other comm tower claimed next turn. Battlecopter versus battlecopter violence. So poor positioning there. Follows with a bit of machine gun fire. Remember as well, this is Von Bolt's own lab at the moment, so if that get captured, he loses the game. Max take time to capture this one. Next turn, or this turn, should be captured. A Max Bomber. That's a little bit overkill, but it should be do a lot of damage. Tank, infantry. Times wish Von Bolt can pull out Duster. Strike on the back's battlecopter there. Strike hits the good tank. Use transport copter as a body blocker. Good interrupt there. Finish it off. It's not looking good for Von Bolt at the moment. Right now, Von Bolt is basically one turn behind his opponent's income, which is not great. Which means he takes more losses, he's in a really bad position. He isn't to the point where he can recover, and his superpower is almost available, and that could change a lot of stuff. Max Force. Superpower now available. Anti-air takes up Battlecopter. Max could spread out his units. It'd be easy to do that with increased movement speed. Bombbolt is the Synchronity on the left flank. He does have a medium tank here to engage, and Neo tank to stabilize over this way. But Ex Machina will likely strike here or here. Maybe actually it'll strike here. It'll lock down a lot of stuff when we eat here. Von Bolt's Ex Machina can strike open ground as its targeting point. I think it does not do friendly fire damage like Rachel's missiles. Could be mistaken about that. One of those things you don't remember until you look it up and then you forget about it. Yeah, Von Bolt's very far behind. This Ex Machina, Von Bolt has to do something with this Ex Machina or you'll lose the game. Probably a good idea to activate an Ex Machina immediately, unless he's trying to manipulate where it lands by taking out that unit. Strikes right there. That seems like a good spot. Maybe the bomber would have been better. I am not sure what would be the best spot for it, honestly. He's not in a good position. Artillery pieces fired away. Gets a good strike there. He has opportunity to engage these battlecopters next turn. Devouring Retaliation takes out that tank. So the Ex Machina will allow him to clean up this flank because the end turn. Fighter deployed on Von Bolt. That's a little bit desperate, but he needs him to counter out that bomber. Walling in his ATR is not always the easiest idea. He has triple artillery here, which helps stall him out, but it's supposed to be strong side. He doesn't want to stall out, he needs to be punching through. Indirect seems pretty good here, but indirect doesn't seem good here for me. Guess one infantry strike on that artillery piece, showing who's boss. A lot of stuff is there. Maybe get a Neo tank this region. Probably too expensive to go for a Mega Tank. Maybe, I don't know. I do not know what needs to go out here. A single factory can easily get overwhelmed by the double factory production. And there is a lot of tanks there. And it's harder to reach his opponent's tank, medium tank in the back line as well. So Von Bolt should be able to clean these battlecopters and probably this tank as well. A little bit overkill, but gets the job done. Another Neo tank up there, it's probably a good idea. Falling back, that's probably a good idea. Just forfeit some ground so you can get some reinforce here. Next item could be a rocket or artillery piece. Cause some issues for the captures, very nice. Surrounding, nice. Great artillery placement there. He could? I don't know if he can break through to save his medium tank. He needs to take out this infantry unit here. Taking out this tank would not allow him to escape, but would allow him to counterattack the artillery piece. But of course, it's mounted here. The only thing they can reach there is not the battlecopter. Even Max Force could, but I don't think a Max Force battlecopter can take out the tank there. Though it's on a road, so maybe 2 comp powers. That's actually a lot of firepower. Yeah, even with max force, that's not enough to break it out. So you have to try to take out 2 infantry units here, which is possible. He has also a supporting infantry unit here and a lot of stuff here, so he could break it out through this way. Oops, that is the spacebar button. Let me make sure I get this line back up. There we go. There's a lot of artillery there. That's 4 artillery pieces. Actually, probably a little bit too much. Has a lot of high-value units here to protect. A lot of anti-air there, so battle copter would not be useful. The fighter there to help ward away the bomber. The bomber's gonna have to charge forward and probably get 1 shot in. Battle copters could help him supplement the force. Have to be careful of the anti-air. But overall, medium and neo tanks seem pretty good, and artillery as well. Of course, with 1 factory, you can only have 1 factory production. He will break his medium tank out quite easily. And there goes the artillery piece there. The Von Bolt's able to break this tank. The anti-air can take out the battle copter, and as an artillery and tanks engage it. This should be simple enough. Max force right now. How far can he project forward? I don't think his max force is pretty good. Why take out? That's the only good engagement we can see from max force. His bomber's pretty much forfeited, though he may lose his fighter in return. Really, PS6 a good shot there. I don't. That max was only meant to take out 1 neo tank. I don't know if that's worth it. The fighter's pretty much forfeited now, but that's probably perfectly fine. The fighter was meant to counter the bomber, and it's did his job. Interrupts the capture there. Takes out the tank. Battlecopter gets shot there, which also lures the anti-air, 1 anti-air this direction if he wants to take out the anti-air, which is generally a good trade. But Corvallis, his additional battlecopters have more free reign if he deploys up more battlecopters. More tank, artillery piece, gets some good shot there in the infantry. He's making some pretty good headway. He's actually starting to pull ahead. So Von Bolt's turned the game around, very nice. I think that Ex Machina just allowed him to stabilize, and from there he was able to get a foothold in the game. Another neo tank. I think the black belt there is just deny the capture, just causing issues. Artillery, infantry, no battle copter. Comm tower is under threat, but you can easily interrupt it. But of course, divert the neo tank all the way up north, and that'd be expensive diversion. Battle copter can't be diverted up there, nor the medium tank, nor this neo tank. So this neo tank has to be diverted up north if he captures that, which is probably a good thing for Max, diverting a neo tank a turn or 2. You know, basically knock out the neo tank for a turn or 2. Max battlecopters push way forward. Fighter gets basically knocked out, but does give Von Bolt some very valuable power charge. Pulls back the infantry units. He needed a wall for that medium tank here, though could have pulled it back a little bit further. I do think actually he's sending an infantry unit to capture up there, forcing the reaction of the neo tank to stop it. Would have been a good call. And here comes the superpower. No reason not to activate it immediately. He'll definitely hit these neo tanks. And strikes this light tank while at it. It was basically not moving either way. It's now down to 1% health as opposed to whatever health it had. Did not take out the anti-air. Tank is pretty much knocked out. It is knocked out. Time to capture as well. He needs to start capturing properties. Max has been maintaining pretty good property lead. And this is not high funds as well, so this is quite a substantial lead. Took a point of damage. We could see another max force, but probably not that useful. Doesn't need a whole lot of mobility. Yeah, max force is probably not a good idea. Disable the power charge, regardless of being for another max force or max blast. More Neotanks being pulled up north. Vulnerable could play a bit more defensively. Yeah, this is his weak side, of course. He won't match his opponent's production. He just needs to match firepower, pretty much. We'll break that wall there. Strikes our artillery piece, but there's, of course, 2 backline artillery pieces, so that medium tank is dead. Pretty much knocked out. Didn't actually go down there. Nice. That 2 fighter that's still alive is now a unbreakable wall. Because who would have known that an aircraft flying 10,000 feet in the air is a great way to stop infantry from walking forward. Anti-air infantry, so he's saving a bit of funding on that side. Medium tank is a good strike there. Max blast is now available. This may be a good time, but he's getting some good initial strikes there. Knocking the Neo tank or medium tank there is important because medium tanks are effective versus Neo tanks, and the increased move speed allows them to outrange the Neo tank. There's a bomber up north. This max blast can be used to buff this tank. I wonder if max forces will require. Max blast will allow him to punch a little bit harder. Let's find out. It is going to be max blast for maximum firepower. There goes that artillery piece. There goes that artillery piece. Tank on tank violence. Knocks out that Neo tank. Medium tank is gone. A large amount of on-bolt stuff is being finished off. He probably should not have been hyper-aggressive. Now there's 2 Neo tanks in range screen. Maybe we're going to merge 2 health Neo tank onto it. That's probably fine enough. They'll get some repairs. Get some repairs. Neo tank, battlecopter, tank, tank. And just like that, now Von Bolt is at keeping pace. They're still pretty even. Add the value here to there, and they're basically at equal value at the moment. Not finish off that one. Takes up one of the battlecopters. Might as well get a free shot there. And here finished off the medium tank. Artillery freeze falls back. He's falling back on strong side. Both sides are battered, bruised, and beaten. Max just has a sizable army here. This bomber is a safe enough position right. Oh yeah, max force 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So bomber is out of range. Remember as well, max force increases movement speed. I doubt he's going to get a max or another max force. If he gets max force, he could take out the bomber. If he gets, but that may or may not be possible. That is the main thing. A lot of damage to be done. Artillery, battlecopter. Artillery. Von Bolt likes his artillery. I think there's just too much artillery on the field. There's a lot of mountains to him to fire over here. It may be better go for a rocket and infantry unit rather than double artillery. Full fighter deployment field. He wants the various aircraft dead. Max is falling back his units around this region. Vision 4, trying to hop forward on the properties, get healed on up. Very little action there. In fact, 0 funds of worth damage. He didn't attack a single time that turn. That's humorous to me. And we do have another Ex Machina being put on the field. Squeeze that out before another max power could be quite nice, or max force. So it prevents the extra move on some of these units, and there's some juicy Max Machina locations here. He needs another 23,000 funding. But that's actually a bit difficult. Both players are just posturing this moment in time. Fighter here. Mega Tank. He wants a hard counter there. It's probably best to keep that end turn on top of property so it gets resupplied with ammo. Because the best way, in my opinion, to deal with Mega Tank is throw a bunch of fodder into it to have it waste its ammo. Of course, that can be a little bit difficult, even for a strong side versus weak side dynamic, because it's losing a lot of units. Yeah, I think Von Bolt needs to be pushed forward with this Mega Tank. Let's see. This is in range of the artillery piece, so the Mega Tank will have to be on top of the planes, but it should maintain enough ammo. Mega Tank probably should actually just move to right here. It will help protect its artillery piece and get covering fire from the artillery piece. And Max does now have his own Mega Tank. Overall, it seems like Von Bolt's been dictating the attacking of this game. Push pretty far forward. Hopefully pushes artillery pretty far forward. Artillery piece needs to be right there, I'd say. Max still has superior income. Looks like Von Bolt's gonna make a push for the labs. This 2F fighter just needs to make sure it has anti-aero coverage. It can be used as bait. Bomber has to be careful. This stuff is easy wall break. We'll save things away from even max force. Ex Machina can come on in as well and help dictate the battle as well. Got multiple Mega Tanks. One needs to be moved over here. I really think this Mega Tank should be a bit more reserved and put it right there. Put the artillery piece back there. So yeah, I really did not like this position. I think it should have been very reserved and put it right there. Oops. And of course I did that again. My bad. Some games I hit pause to pause, or spacebar to pause, like RimWorld, and so that's just an instinct for me. Now we've got multiple Mega Tanks being pulled out by Max as well. Fighter here. Both players are posturing. The longer the game goes on, the more in favor it goes to Max with his higher econ. Of course, these Neo Tanks can project towards the flank as well, so this thing can be encircled. Maybe on to smash this flank here. Anti-air there, battlecopter, fighter. A lot of micro adjustments. Von Bolt overall looks like he's falling back a little bit, so he's not liking his odds. I think Max is trying to perform max force. 1+ movement speed won't be enough. What is he doing? Ex Machina is now available. Max has to win the game this turn because I'm pretty sure an Ex Machina would destroy him. That's a good strike. Here's max force. One shot's the bomber. Bomb bolts, artillery is taking some decent damage. And this Ex Machina, don't know if it does. It doesn't do friendly fire damage, but no, it will not craft strike here. There's a lot of Mega Tanks here. Ex Machina right here would deny all those Mega Tanks, which could allow him to push forward with his own Mega Tanks. I don't know if it lands over here. Take your gamble. Put a comment. Do you think it's gonna hit the center or the Mega Tanks? Yep, it hit over here, and he needed it over here. But this course could allow for his Mega Tanks push forward and get some first strikes in next turn. Mech gets a good strike there. Artillery piece engaged in Neo Tank. Artillery piece engaged Neo Tank. Artillery piece engaged Tank. This is going to be really messy really quick. Anti-aircraft perhaps hit the fighter. Both sides, the battle's still engaging. Will Max break Von Bolt here, or will he be broken upon Von Bolt? Got some more reinforcing Neo Tanks, infantry up here. And he's going to push forward the Mega Tanks, but he's only have this one exposed. Now the more I look at it, it's supposed that the battle copter could one-shot that thing. The anti-air is nearby. With a max force, you can perhaps get it hit. Takes the battle copter. Fighter does body block there, so that's actually really important. Von Bolt fighter is possibly in range. That stuff in front of him goes out of the way of that fighter. Neo Tank goes down. Von Bolt fighter's not in range, so there's no longer body blocking, but now there's infantry body blocking it. Yeah, I think these Mega Tanks just now need to fall back. I don't think he can push forward. Oh, someone subscribed to my YouTube channel. I forgot the fact that even if I'm not live streaming, I can still hear those notifications. It's actually really disorienting. It's like, am I actually streaming? No, I turned off all the streaming. Oh, welcome to the channel, whoever that was. Von Bolt is ahead slightly, but I feel like he's not ahead as well. I feel like Max is in a better position. They have equal units on the field. There's a good strike there. He does pull back his Mega Tanks, which I believe is a good call. I don't think pushing forward into there right now is not good. He just simply couldn't reach the designated targets. And the economy change or advantage has not changed whatsoever. He's trying to threaten this property. And flipping property is going to be very useful. Bomber by Von Bolt, infantry, artillery, infantry. Mega Tank. No attacks there. Mega Tank's creeping his way forward. Go fighter. Decent strike there. Von Bolt has a slight advantage, but that will shrink even if nothing happens with the disadvantage. Does flip one property, so now the advantage is much more slight, which is, so now it's pretty much nullified. More bomber, artillery, Von Bolt. This Von Bolt player loves his artillery. Takes out the infantry unit. We do have a max power here, max force. Will we use it? Does the Mega Tank move like that? Probably not. Transport Copter's almost out of fuel, 22. It can probably let it fall out of the sky, run out of fuel. Max is gearing up for a wall. He's going to try to have his opponent break upon him, which I think is possible. Bombo has a lot of artillery pieces, so the wall, Bombo has a better wall potential for the artillery. I don't think he can break Max. He'll probably break upon him because when he attacks the Max, he can probably counter-revive the power, superpower, and his backline units can become the frontline units pretty quickly. Small engagements. Don't take anything big. Got economic infantry here. There's a large amount of tanks here. A max power, a max blast could be game ending. A rocket by Von Bolt. With the amount of artillery in the field, I don't know if that's a good idea. He doesn't have anything to exploit breaches. He needs mobility. Artillery nice and all, but Max has a power and superpower to help close in the distance and break through walls. I don't think the wall play is a good option. I think Von Bolt needs more units to punch through the front line, more tanks. In this case, maybe Neo tanks? Because Max can make his Mega Tanks just as fast as Neo Tanks. And in fact, he's moving around quite a bit. He's not eyeing for max power. It's going to be another explosive conflict. Von Bolt's far from superpower, but if the big conflict happened, he will probably get a superpower, even though he's like 100,000 away. 93,000 roughly. Or 97. It's a lot. Now kept the lab, somewhat finally. Going back here is a good idea. I still do believe in a rocket right here would be very nice to have, because this would 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reach into the center of the map here quite significantly. Goes for a Mega Tank up there. And I think as well, Mega Tanks can easily be zoned out by rockets due to how slow they are. After all, that's what, 4 tiles? I suppose max power and blast can help cover the distance. Of course, the amount of numbers here, probably not so much. Von Bolt does have good number of bombers, which is a good exploit unit to exploit the, or just able to smash through stuff. When I say the word exploit, sometimes I mean like exploit a weakness or exploit a breakthrough. Not necessarily exploit as gamer sense. Couple mechs there. Max resigns. Von Bolt's being very passive. I don't know if Max should have resigned there. A little bit lackluster ending, I would say. Either way, this Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.